Hey everybody, and welcome in to the VR accessibility overview for RoboquestVR. This is available on Steam for PCVR, on the PS5 for the PSVR2, which is what I'm on, and the MetaQuest platform, starting with MetaQuest 2 and going up, of course, from 3 to 3S to Pro. So, covering all the bases. But with that out of the way, let us hit the pause menu and head to the settings, which is what these videos are about. You, of course, can play in seated mode. I'm in a wheelchair, so for me, and I'm sure many others, that is a very good thing. Whether you're in a wheelchair or you just can't stand for long periods of time, having that as an option is always good. You have your motion vignette just for, if you get sick without having that around, get a little motion sick. There are bounce pads in when you're playing. This will just make it to where I guess you face in whatever direction it is bouncing you automatically. For auto reload, you have manual, auto eject, and auto reload. Manual, and I'm sure the auto eject, they're the same way. You just have to hit the button, which is usually square, or I guess that would be X on like a Quest controller. And you hit that, and it ejects it, and then a little flick of the wrist, and you will reload. Auto eject, it just does that, and you just flick your wrist. And then if you can't do that, maybe you have some trouble doing that, you could just, or you just don't want to worry about it, you can put it on auto reload, so don't have to worry about it at all. You, of course, then have your stuff in the mini map. You can hide it completely. You can mini map location. It's on my left hand. It can be on your right hand as well. Instead of my right hand, it's my health for when I'm doing attempts and all that good stuff. You have the minimap rotate or not. The minimap can rotate or not. All that good stuff. Show floating text. Show ammo counter. All that stuff. All that good stuff. Show your laser sight. Laser sight's always cool. So, and then for controls, you can set it to your dominant hand, left or right, left for me. You can set the movement orientation to your controllers. So basically, if you point the controller in a way, you'll start moving in that direction. Or your headset. So if you look that way, you start heading that way. You then also have turn modes. You have smooth turn, and of course you have snap turn. And you have a ton of different amount of degrees you can turn. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, and 90. I always stay on smooth. You swap the sticks to move with the left and turn with the right. Move with the right, turn with the left. I do that because I am left-handed. So it's always appreciated when that is an option in gaming. Smooth turn sensitivity, maybe you don't want it too high because if you move too fast, you get sick. And then you have the stick dead zone, the gun angle, which is good. So you have an easier time aiming at enemies and all that good stuff. Controller vibrations, adaptive triggers. I'm on the PlayStation, like I said. So that is the thing. I don't know if that would be on anything else. Auto sprint. And then you can show the controller bindings. The controller that they show will be different for you, of course. But you have your rotation and your jump and squat all on the same stick. For me, that's the left stick. For you, that could be the right stick. and all of that. They do not switch if you have things changed. It always shows what the default is. So you just kind of have to rethink about it in your head. You cannot rebind these in game. You can't do anything about that. Now, if you are on the PSVR2, you can go into the PS5's accessibility settings on the system itself and actually remap everything if you need. If you are on a MetaQuest headset, again, you can go into the headset's accessibility settings and remap everything to what you may need. On PC, I would guess you can. It says that right now, currently, at the time of recording, that it only supports OpenXR. I have not been on PCVR in a very long time, so I do not remember if OpenXR still lets you use stuff like walk-in VR and things like that. So, or the Steam VR community buying profiles. So I'm not sure. So that is gonna probably be a, just see if you can. If you can't, refund it, I guess. If there are things that you need to have switched, I'm sorry that I can't give you more info on that one if you're on PCVR. And then this is the stuff for the sounds. Now, you may have, you may think, oh, well, what about subtitles, right? Well, I will show you on this right after the load screen. So now we are in a run. We're in an attempt. She has something to say. It's in text. Better watch out. We're back for more. So everything that any talking character has to say is always in a speech bubble around their vicinity, right where they are standing. Now, I want to say one thing, and this will also be in the notes. With whatever your dominant hand is, in case, for me, that is the left hand. You can hold the grip to turn it into a fist. When you first start this game, there is a little intro, and it wants you to figure out how to use things, right? One of the first things that I'll have you do is to punch. I'm mainly moving my forearm to do this. You will need to do this. So, I usually only put this in my notes, but I'm gonna probably start trying to say it in the overview videos as well. This is going to be, I would say, at least a moderate movement game for upper body and arm movement levels. I would say just because of the punch. And if you leave it on the manual or for the reload. Because then you have to unload the clip and flick your wrist. But I feel like you have to do more to do the punch. So let's see if well, not him. Not that one. Yeah. You'll need a little bit. Just a little bit of the, oh god. Yeah, just a little of the, just a bit of wrist movement to go and be able to punch. And that alone is probably gonna make it so this game isn't gonna be too playable. I will say, as much as I have played so far, the intro is the only real spot where you need to actually use the punch. And after that, you can pretty much ignore it from what I've seen. I could be wrong. But if you can get past that first bit, then you should be good, I would think. Oh man, I love this weapon. But yeah, you should be good then, I believe. So hopefully that is the case, and you'll be able to play this without really any issue. If that would be the only thing to stop you, that is. Okay. I don't know why I'm continuing to play. Probably shouldn't. But yeah, these are the little bounce. Little bounce pads. You can make it. Actually, let's do that. Bounce pad. Huh. I guess you cannot do it. Oh no, wait, again. I was like, can you not do it during a level? I don't know what that... Oh! It just bounces you right... Okay. So you don't have to guess. It just will automatically connect you to the next one. So you just be free and not have to worry about it. Okay. So yeah. That's going to do it for the end of the overview. I got kind of carried away there. Hopefully this helps you or somebody that you know who may have wanted to play this game but did not know if they could. Maybe you wanted to play it and didn't know if you could, if you would be able to. Hopefully this helps. And if you know somebody else, give them the link to the spreadsheet that has sets of notes for over 120 games. It's crazy. And now over 90 accessibility overview videos, including this one. It'll be on there as well. Right next to it, the set of notes for the game. But yeah, hopefully you have a great rest of your day or night whenever you happen to be watching this. And I will see you next Wednesday for another VR accessibility overview. What game will it be? I have no idea yet. But until then, bye-bye.